Office workers of Reddit. What's the most cringe-worthy reply all you've seen? Had a management peer send out a long screed about the state of the men's poopter on our floor. Very descriptive. Went out to all the men on the floor. And a whole bunch of customers. Two of the partners at my old firm were having a not very discreet affair. Both were married to other people. Partner A was in charge of the summer associate program. And sent an email around the firm with information on the summers, names, schools, etc. Who would be mentors for who, dates of events, etc. Partner B replied all to a 500+ person law firm. Attorneys, paralegals, secretaries, everybody. I'm going to pork you so hard later. It was hilarious for several reasons, including his ultra seductive use of the word pork. A co-worker of mine was trying to motivate their sales office and was saying to get your hands dirty, and if we had any difficulties closing a sale, the girls should shake their little asses and close the sale. Reached our CEO. She wasn't there long. I was a temp in a very large law firm for a bit. One day, a new lawyer was hired. And HR sent out the standard email to everyone introducing the new guy and congratulating him on his new position. New guy then replies all and asks the HR person if his benefits package pays for a hair transplant procedure. I used to work at a law firm, and one day an email went out to everyone, about 40 people, that was about a specific case and had very little relevance to my job position, so I ignored it. A few minutes later I got another email from different attorney with a snarky response. Well, an argument started between these two attorneys, still replying all to the office, and after about 6 or so emails a third attorney wrote, yeah well my dad can beat up your dad. By the way, you have been sending this to the whole office. Double quote. Kinda of the same thing but different. I used to work for a company that was a vendor for Abercrombie & Fitch. I would send emails to different people that work at Abercrombie every day. One day I sent a request to someone at the company and got an out of office reply that basically said I am no longer with A&amp. F. Frick this poop. Frick this place. Everyone here sucks. I laughed my ass off for a few minutes, then called a buddy that works there. Pretty soon the whole company was sending emails to this account just to read the reply. It took about an hour for their adept to get wind and take it offline. Dude mass mailed one of those great American gas out things to all 6,000 plus employees. The CEO did a reply all saying something like Exxon is one of our biggest clients and using company resources for your own political agenda is against company policy. People would type their password inside group chats thinking they were logging into a particular system. I heard about someone where I work that meant to send out an email to the whole department, a couple dozen people, to let them know that for their birthday they brought in donuts for everyone. People do this all the time. This guy, however, selected the email list for the whole company instead of the department. They were getting replies from employees in other countries saying things like, well I don't know you and I can't travel there just for donuts. But happy birthday. About 12 years ago, I worked in a small office and a co-worker was telling a boring story to the whole office. My boss went to email me to complain. I was his sounding board, but accidentally replied all to another company-wide email. His message sent to the entire company. I wish Donna would have emailed me this story so I could delete it. She saw the email a few minutes later, threw keyboard up in the air, grabbed her purse and ran out of the office. My boss had to profusely apologize the next day. Edit. Thanks for the karma, love. I should tell this story at parties. I wish I could mention all these experiences when they ask me what's your ideal work environment on job interviews. You folks rock. We use instant messaging. And there have been a few times where someone messages the entire chat group complaining about someone else's work or just them being generally bad at their job. Usually that's quickly followed by oops, as if that's going to make it better. I worked in a very large government complex and someone once replied all to an email that was sent to the 500 plus employees with the caption, "This guy looks like Reggie lol." The picture was of a large, hairy man in a speedo. I have no idea who Reggie is, but if the caption was accurate then he should consider buying some hair trimmers. I was working in an office during the Iraq war and I get an email from some random private. "Y'all motherfuckers need to shut the hell up," puzzled by such a blatant attack. I checked who this guy was and who he sent it to. I want to say he sent it to everyone in every command in Iraq, Afghanistan, and a few other places. Some say that private is still doing push-ups to this day. We had this guy from the main office, Pete, who comes up from time to time. He's an arrogant asshole. I decided that I couldn't stand that smug prick within literally 30 seconds of meeting him. Anyway, we had quite a bit of turnover in our department since Pete's last visit. So our boss wanted to schedule a lunch so he could meet everyone. So, his admin sent out a mass email to see who might be interested in lunch on Thursday. I replied back that I wouldn't be coming because I had a conflict. And then I added, "Plus, Pete's kind of a frickward." I hadn't realized that I had hit reply all until I heard the scattered laughter all over our floor. Our boss came over, invited me into a conference room, and said, "I'd appreciate it if in the future you'd let everyone decide on their own whether or not Pete is a frickward." Thankfully, Pete wasn't on the email. Either the full staff email that was basically help. "My cat had kittens, who wants a kitten, someone please take a kitten from me." Or the follow-up email she was forced by management to send 5 minutes later apologizing for being unprofessional. Working in the claims department for a huge insurance company. One time a claim handler sent out very personal customer information to the entire company, every single employee including the CEO, security staff, building staff, even cleaning staff. So, that's bad enough. But then we have this other guy decide to reply all to that email, asking the other guy why he sent him this message, blissfully unaware that the first guy sent it to everyone in the company. So now the first guy responds, still unaware of what happened, telling the second guy he has no idea how that email went to him. So this email thread goes back and forth. Reply all. These two geniuses investigating WTF happened. For like 10 replies. They finally decided it was a computer glitch. IDK how they still have jobs. I'd have fired them just for not knowing how reply all worked. A guy from my training class got fired for poor performance. He knew for months it was coming. On his last day, before the obligatory "this isn't working out" meeting, he sent an email to every single person who reports to our work site. I work for a very large company, so hundreds of people. Estimating conservatively, that said nothing more than "remember, no one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition." I guess everyone thought it was prudent to hit reply all to send back their confused responses. For hours, my poor inbox was getting flooded by their stupid replies. Random user accidentally sends an email to an entire division of a large government agency saying she'll heal late. Cue an hour of people reply all line "remove me from this list," and then another hour of reply all line "don't reply all." Okay. This one is technically not reply to all but close enough. The Dutch Railways has a timetable app with push notifications. Egg if your train is delayed. One morning last year basically all people in the Netherlands with this app, that's millions, receive a push message. This is a test message. Dear colleagues, I checked with software and all messages have been sent received. Followed by, just so Hadjo believes it too. Hadjo is a male's name. This one dude accidentally sent millions of people a message just to prove his colleague wrong. The GM of my office was having issues with the sales team. He's been known to go overboard. This time, he hit reply all and called one of the sales guy a dirty fricking N. Yeah. Needless to say, once HR got a hold of the email, his 27-year career was over. When I was in college I worked at a local ISP. One day, out of the blue, the lead sysadmin calls me, "Hey, do you know how to break into a Cobalt rack? I need you to delete an email. Small hosting server, UHH. I could probably figure something out. Worst case I can reboot it and reset the password." Shit. Frick. Never mind. That'll take too long. Click, a bit confused. I just shrugged and went on with my day. Later I found out the reason for the strange phone call. The customer had been emailing back and forth with the sysadmin and the company owner regarding some technical issue that led to a billing dispute. The sysadmin, having a very short temper, hit reply all without thinking and wrote something along the lines of, "Just because $customer likes to take it up the ass doesn't mean we need to bend over and let him do whatever he wants." He called me to break into the server so that I could delete the email before the customer had a chance to read it. Unfortunately, the customer got the email immediately and received a lot of free hosting services. Co-worker's baby died during childbirth. They announced the funeral. Guy in sales replies all with his congratulations to the deserving couple. I used to work for one of the largest newspapers in the world. One day an email came through that was literally sent to the entire company worldwide. It was the contract a new hire who was a significant person at a rival paper was about to sign, with a salary that was astronomical. The body text essentially said give him whatever he wants. The woman who accidentally sent the email was kicked out of the building that day. Guy sent a "Listen babe, I just need to finish one last report and then I'll pick you up and frick your brain out in the car, okay? Dart. Sounds awesome, right? Yeah, until we noticed the address he meant to send it to was a subscription service for fake relationships. Dirty talk. Not a reply all, but my friend was using our inter-office instant messenger. Meant to send the following message to me: well, if she stopped trying to frick all of her clients, maybe she'd hit a sales target for once. Yeah. Sent it to her instead. He got fired. Someone at work sent an email asking for donations to his church. He sent it over to K employees. Then the chaos started. At first I could see my inbox rise in number 5, 10, 25, etc. Suddenly hundreds of emails poured in with some messages saying I don't want to donate and you should not send this email to everyone. No shit. I couldn't decide who the biggest idiot was, were the guy who sent the email or the assholes that replied all. The best email was from the director telling us not to reply all because the server was going to crash. And then it crashed. I heard that the guy got fired for soliciting donations, not emailing everyone, and it got a slap on the hand for allowing everyone to have access to the all employees email group. Not my office division, but our oilfield construction division sends in bids to secure future jobs. Lowest bidder wins. Winning a bid is sometimes scary, because you wonder if you left out any estimation tables. Anyway, our estimator sends in the bid to the proper email, which goes to a secretary. Other competitors use the same email address to send in their bids also. Imagine our horror when the secretary sends a reply all with a "thank you for submitting your bid for project X." And all the other bids are attached to this email. So every competitor sees where each other are increasing estimations and decreasing their costs. It's really both a tifu and cringer post. I work at a public institution. We send out term schedules to departments so chairs, deans, and administrative assistants can review and make necessary changes. We had a chair reply back once the following: "I've made some changes to the schedule. Can you rerun the report and send it to me for my former secretary?" This is with the dean, chairs of the other departments in that academic college, and administrative assistants of that academic college all copied in, including the DePoop. Apparently she was on her way to being terminated for some reason. She was gone pretty soon afterward. We never heard back from anybody else in that department either, so I am not sure what happened. The chair that sent the email remained at the university until he ended up dying from something unexpectedly a few years ago. The head manager of my R&AMP D-Lab got a spam email about a Windows virus involving a legit Java eggs file that had a teddy bear icon. JDBGMGR. Eggs. He looks on his computer and, lo and behold, it's on his machine. He proceeded to lose his poop and forwarded it to everyone in the company, telling them to delete the file. He did not run this by at first. It was not amused. A sign showing a teddy bear with a dagger through its head labeled the Teddy Bear Slayer was found on his office door the next morning.
Hi there. Look, if you enjoyed the video, well, why not go ahead and hit that like and subscribe to Reddit Stories. In fact, if you want to see even more responses to this thread, well then, take a look. There's the link in the description below. And remember, show some love to those authors while you're there. And I look forward to seeing you next time.